Good evening and welcome to PlayOnSports.com's continuing coverage of the Sac-Joaquin Section Girls Volleyball Championships. We are live from UC Davis at the Activities and Recreation Center as we turn our attention to Division II. And the number 1 seed and defending champion El Camino Eagles get set to take on the number 2 seed, the Gregori Jaguars. Jeff Kurtz alongside Jason Patterson. Folks, sorry for the long delay. We were supposed to get started at 6 o'clock. We're getting started at 6:30 here on the West Coast. As the 2 games that were being played before this, Division 5 and 6, they start the awards ceremonies at the same time here in the Sac-Joaquin section on both courts. We had to wait for the Division 6 game on the far court to end. It ended a little bit later. They went to 4 games, and so we're getting a little bit later start here in Division 2. Division 3 taking place on the opposite court. We'll end the night with Division 4 on our court here, Jason, Division 1 on the far court. But here we've got a fantastic matchup between a school in just its second year of varsity girls volleyball, the Gregori Jaguars, yet they pounded out 33 wins against just 2 losses this year. Meanwhile, El Camino, a 32-5 record, the defending champion, as I mentioned, and a winner of 2 titles in the last 3 years. 2009, they won in Division 3. Last year, winning in Division 2.
Yeah, most definitely. El Camino is coming in here, the heavy favorite, as the defending champions, and the number 1 seed as well. But don't let this early school of Gregori, who made it kind of far last year, I believe, as well, as we were talking to the coach. He said he made it to the playoffs and nearly this far. So 2 years for varsity volleyball, and already here in the section Division 2 championship. So Gregori obviously a force to be reckoned with, even though they are the lower seed.
El Camino will be serving. They are in the white jerseys going right to left on your screen. Gregori in the navy blue jerseys going left to right. El Camino, a quick dump in the interior, and they're going to get their first point of the match. As El Camino's starting lineup will be Michaela Nichetti, Elizabeth Dahlberg, Devin Herenda, Marissa Mattis, Cassidy Denny, and Ariana Williams, with Olivia Garner coming in as the libero. She's out on the floor right now. El Camino's serving. Nice dig by Gregori. We'll get you their starting lineup in a moment. Free opportunity for the Eagles. Looking to go up 2-0. Tap over. Nice save by Justine Lamone, the libero for Gregori. And we got a whistle and a net violation. Is going to go against Dahlberg. So we're tied at 1. Starting lineup for Gregori: Michaela Wersch, Sabrina Sordillo, Waverly Green, Courtney Robinson, Macy Labasse, Emily Van Dyke, and of course Lamone, the libero, who's in the game wearing number 66 in the white jersey for Gregori. Located in Modesto, California, just south of here, El Camino in the heart of Sacramento. As a nice tap over, great play by Cassidy Denny. And the point to the Eagles. Into the ball game for the first time, Kayla Barkel, the senior. She will replace Marissa Mattis in the lineup for El Camino. 2-1 Eagles here in game 1, and serving Devin Herenda. The sophomore setter gets it over, dug by Lamone. Pass outside, over in 3. That was Waverly Green. From the back row, free opportunity for Gregori. They're going to go middle with it and get the put away. Nice job by Emily Van Dyke, as you can hear the football team, which has come out to support the Gregori girls volleyball team, to our left-hand side in the background. An explosive response from the Gregori fan base, Jason.
Yeah, they definitely they brought out a big caravan out here to UC Davis to cheer on their Gregori Jaguars.
Pass near side, off the block, playable. No, we've got 4. They're going to say into the tape from Barkel, as opposed to a block by Gregori. And so the point to the Jaguars, and they lead at 3-2 here in game 1. Head coaches Ron Silva, coaching Gregori, led Ripon High School for a long time. Legendary coach here in the Sac-Joaquin section. Martin Soyama, in his 4th year at the helm of El Camino, and he's done a fantastic job of the program in just his short tenure with the Eagles at the head of the line of the coaching staff for El Camino. We're tied at 3. Serving is Garner. Gregori going middle with it. Dug by Herenda, but nobody's able to get there in time, as Barkel a little bit late, and the point to the Jaguars.
Yeah, just a little bit of miscommunication there. A couple of the girls all looking at each other, trying to figure out who's going to take that ball, and it falls for a point for the Jaguars. So early scoring here from both sides of the court. It's looking like it could be a back and forth matchup.
Kathleen Rosales serving for Gregori. Bump set, Herenda going near side. That is Williams, except it's going to be a little bit long. And Gregori now up 5-3. Well, you look at Gregori, 33 wins, 2 losses, and this is a program, a lot of girls playing club ball. They have played with each other growing up through the ranks, and because of that familiarity, it allows you to build a volleyball program that's pretty darn effective very quickly. It's a nice kill on the outside by Cassidy Denny. Gives the point to El Camino. Meanwhile, the Eagles 32-5. So between these two teams, 65 wins and just 7 losses. And all their losses to quality programs.
That's a solid record.
Yes, it is indeed. As trying to save it with her foot, Macy Labas of Gregori, trying to channel her inner Brazilian soccer player. And that one is out. And we're tied at 5. Now serving is Denny for El Camino. Off the tape and an ace. That is a playable ball. And the service ace goes to the Eagles, and they're up 6-5.
Yeah.
We've had our 3rd lead change here in game 1.
By looking at Denny's face, you would not have expected her to get that ace on that one. She thought she misplayed that ball. Little did she know it fell over the net for the ace. Nice serve.
Gregori on the attack from the outside. The block, but out. Macy Labas gets the point for Gregori. El Camino almost gets there for the combination block. Into the ball game for the Jaguars to serve Christine Paulson. Paulson, the lone senior on this team for Gregori, loaded with juniors and underclassmen. Horrenda going middle. Williams blocked, keeps it alive, sending it right back the other way, but wide is Sabrina Sordella.
That was pretty solid play by Williams there at the net. She was able to get the block and put the ball back up, and they were able to get a point there as the ball went wide.
Serving is Barkel, Kayla Barkel, sister Carrie on this team as well. Kayla wears number 2, Carrie 22. Keeping it alive, El Camino, free ball over in 3, that was Denny. Bump set from the backside, Rosales. Here's a pass, nice job digging it back. The libero Garner, near side. Nichetti down the line, nice save, great play by Paulson. Back the other way goes Labas. Horrenda sets back row Denny, and we've got a whistle and a net violation against Gregori. They had a pancake save as Denny went short into the donut hole in the defense, but already a net touch by one of the middle blockers for Gregori gives the point to El Camino. It's 8-6 Eagles.
Yeah, even despite the net touch, I think that one probably would have fell in for a point. Very nice dump off by the El Camino Eagles.
Over in 3, Labas. Horrenda goes near side, Nichetti. Nice combination here. A couple of sophomores working with each other. Meanwhile, a block, Williams at the net. Gregori goes back row. That was Van Dyke, but she couldn't get her body squared up underneath that set and gets called for a double hit. And it's 9-6 Eagles, biggest lead of the game for El Camino. Barkel continues to serve. A dump and a nice play in the middle for Van Dyke, who at 6'1" is a very tall setter, one of the 2 tallest players on this Gregori team. Jason, what a weapon to have when you've got a setter who goes 6'1" and can block in the middle as well.
Yeah, looking here at the Gregori Jaguars, they have 3 6'1", 1 6 foot, and 3 5'10" ladies. So a lot of big players out there for the Gregori Jaguars.
There's a kill for Michaela Wersch, and it's a 9-8 El Camino lead in game 1. Well, we have got a 1 and a 2 seed. We figured we'd have a tight matchup, and so far we do have that through game 1.
Yeah, definitely. It's been going back and forth. It's definitely been exciting here to start out game 1.
This is an overpass, and it's going to go in for Sordello. So we're tied at 9 on the overpass by El Camino. Crisp passing is so important in a championship match, and Gregori took advantage right there. Tough pass from the back row. Over in 3, though. El Camino, Gregori with a chance to attack. Outside, blocked. Playable. Jaguars keep it alive. Labas sends it over in 3. Another overpass by El Camino, but the Eagles recover after Gregori gets it over in 1. Back row attack, Labas into the net. El Camino up 1, 10-9. And out of the ball game goes Garner, the libero for El Camino. Into the front row rotates Elizabeth Dahlberg.
Yeah, that was a very nice block by Ariana Williams there at the net. Definitely solid.
And another ace off the tape. That's the second one the Eagles have gotten off the tape. This time Williams.
Yeah, they almost seem to go in an advantage for the El Camino Eagles as they hit the tape and just barely make it over the net.
That's not something you can plan for, but it's worked for the Eagles twice. Here's an attack outside, dug by Williams from Wersch. Near side, Nichetti up over the block, gets it in.
Very nice. El Camino is looking real solid out here to start this game off.
12-9 the score. You know, considering the fact that El Camino is a returning champion and Gregori has put together an outstanding program, there are a lot of young players out on the floor. Only 3 seniors on the El Camino squad, just 1 for Gregori. So a lot of this is going to be decided by juniors and sophomores. Coaches relying a lot on their underclassmen. Dahlberg, one of them, gets the kill opportunity. Gregori digs. Cut shot attempt by Wersch. That was a tough angle. She executes that, Jason. That would have been a fantastic shot. Instead, 13-9 El Camino.
Yeah, I agree. That definitely had a little bit more difficulty than just a normal set back over the net.
Williams serve and overpass, and the point. Nichetti puts it away.
Yeah, El Camino is just looking like they're out to an early start, and they're keeping it moving.
Williams continues to serve. Biggest lead of game 1 for El Camino is 5. Football team starts a Go Jaguars, Go chant behind us, and Wersch, feeding off the energy, gets the kill. Substitutions for the Jaguars. Into the ball game in the front row, Courtney Robinson. Back to serve, Justine Lamone, the libero. Again, Gregori going left to right on your screen.
Definitely a lot of the football kids out here for Gregori, and they're cheering on their girls volleyball team.
Dug by her counterpart, Garner. We've got a net violation against El Camino. Now, you might be wondering, well, if Gregori's football team made the trip from Modesto, how come El Camino's didn't drive 20 minutes from Sacramento out to Davis?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt El Camino's still trying to go over their playoff thing for football tomorrow night.
That's right. There's a kill by Gregori. That's right. In fact, El Camino's football program typically has a team meal on Thursdays. They've got a football game tomorrow that we're going to be covering here on PlayOnSports.com as they go against Vista del Lago at Folsom High School. We'll have that game for you at 7 o'clock tomorrow. So the football team, normally here to support the girls volleyball program, having their traditional team meal as they're making a playoff run this year. We've got a net violation against Gregori, and the point to the Eagles makes it 15-12. I asked some of the fans for El Camino, is the football team going to make it out here after the dinner, given the later start? They said, we're not sure, but the parents are going to try to make up for what might be missing from a normal enthusiastic football team for El Camino, providing some cheering and support for the girls volleyball program. Pass near side. This is Denny, cross court wide. 15-13. El Camino by 2. Into the game for the first, or excuse me, Waverly Green back into the game, I should say, for Gregori, and to serve Emily Van Dyke. Horrenda goes middle. Denny saved nicely by Labasse. Free ball opportunity. Wersch over in 3. Horrenda's going to have to bump set to the back row. Nichetti kill. Nice dig by Gregori. Another free opportunity. Nichetti's going to get it started. Horrenda going near side. Denny outside the antenna. Tough pass.
Yeah, that pass just happened to go a little bit to the outside. Unfortunately for Denny, she was not able to get it on the inside part of the antenna. So it's going to be a point there for Gregori.
15-14. Gregori trails by 1. Serve by Van Dyke. Going middle, Van Dyke keeps it alive. Lamone brings it back, and Labasse over in 3. This time, better set, I should say. Lamone tried to get it to the middle, and a miscommunication, letting it fall to the court. Courtney Robinson. The kill goes to Denny.
Yeah, that seems to happen a couple times here in the sport of volleyball. A little bit of miscommunication. You definitely have to be talking to your teammates out there. Got to figure out who's going to get that ball.
Gregori going near side. This is Wersch down the line. Kept alive. Nice job, El Camino defense. Van Dyke outside. Wersch again into the net. Block. No, block instead by Kayla Barkel, who just came into the game for the Eagles. Horrenda to serve. 17-14 Eagles. Lamone. Van Dyke, far side. That was Green. Horrenda goes middle. Dahlberg with a put away.
Yeah, El Camino is definitely looking like they're coming out here quick. As you could tell from the early timeout from Gregori, El Camino is coming out here proving that they are the #1 seed, and they've got a nice 4-point lead here in the first game. Definitely looking like the dominator so far.
Timeout called by Gregori, their first of two. We'll keep it right here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. So glad you're joining us for this Sac-Joaquin Section Girls Volleyball Championship Thursday, as we've got 6 games for you. The other court, far court, Oakmont and Vista Del Lago. Vista Del Lago, the defending Division III champion. So invite you to check out that coverage. In fact, you can have both games running on your computer at the same time, folks. Throw up as many as you want. And we often do that on a Friday evening in our office down in our headquarters on the West Coast in San Diego. We'll put up all 20 football games we're covering in California all at one time, and that can make for some interesting viewing.
Yeah, definitely. Non-stop highlights when you got 20 different football games going at one time.
Yeah, it's like NFL Red Zone for high school.
Sitting in the sports book in Tahoe or something with all the different games going on.
Meanwhile here, though, we've got a good volleyball match between the 1 and 2 seed in Division II. Right now, El Camino up 18-14. They took an early lead, lost it to Gregori, came back, and they've maintained anywhere from 1 to 4 point advantage since. Horrenda set to serve out of the Gregori timeout. Lamone to Van Dyke, near side, that's Wersch, dug by Nichetti. Good hustle, Horrenda gets there with the left hand, Denny, back in one and gets the point. She went left-handed and right-handed to get the point for El Camino.
Yeah, very nice play by Cassidy Denny. She went up there, switched hands, put it right on the inside of the antenna, and then was able to get the kill back again over and get the point for El Camino. Definitely El Camino is looking real solid in their play so far.
Lamone the dig off the Horrenda serve. Bump set, back row, Labasse flat-footed over off the block, playable. Barkel gets there. Horrenda's going to set Denny with the right hand, and we got a lift against Gregori. Denny says, there's something you should know. I am not left-handed.
Yeah, you would sure fooled me. Because whenever she goes up there with that left hand, it's almost as good as her right hand. Ooh.
That is a touch against El Camino. Gregori gets the point, 20-15.
That was a big point for Gregori. They definitely don't want to. They don't want to let El Camino get any bit closer to that 25-point total for this match.
Wersch
for
to
the
serve.
game. Sorry.
That's all right. Wersch serving. Deep ball, Denny to Horrenda to Dahlberg. What an attack. Dahlberg comes from behind Horrenda, somewhat shielded by the setter, and gets the point and then heads to the bench with her team up 21-15, and Olivia Garner in to serve. Lamone digs. Van Dyke, back row, Labasse. That's a great kill.
Yeah, that's a solid kill. Just too much on that one. A little bit too much for the Eagles to handle. Gets a point for the Jaguars. The Jaguars are they're hanging in there despite the excellent play by the El Camino Eagles. The Jaguars aren't getting exactly blown out in this game, only down 5 points so far, so still a good chance for Gregori to take this first game.
Rosales checks in to serve. Rosales, Denny with a dig. Horrenda, backside, Denny on the slide with a touch. She is dealing right now.
Yeah,
left-handed, right-handed, hard, soft, doesn't matter.
Yeah, if there's a hole on the defense for Gregori, she's picking it out. She is just killing it nonstop out there.
22-16. Here's a pass back to Labasse, and she's got a lift. 23-16, and now El Camino comfortably in front, and Ron Silva is going to use his final timeout for the Gregori Jaguars here in game one. We'll take a quick break as well here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports and the Sac-Joaquin Section Girls Volleyball Championships.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Gregori calling their last timeout. El Camino's got both of theirs here in game one, and the Eagles with a 7-point advantage, just 2 points away from a game one win. Garner to serve. A lot of sophomores on this team with significant playing time. In fact, Garner, Nichetti, Dahlberg, Horrenda, all sophomores, supplemented by 3 seniors, Mattis, Denny, and Barkel. Denny serving. Here's a set middle, and a nice job out of the timeout, getting the point, Sabrina Sordello.
That's a big point for the Jaguars. They want to make sure that they stay in there. They don't want to give up the first game so easily to the El Camino Eagles. They've been playing a pretty solid game so far despite down 4 points.
Now a 23-17 score. Well, Paulson to serve.
More than 4, my bad.
It was 4 earlier, but El Camino got up big. Williams kill block. Denny there from the backside. Nichetti off the tape. 23-18.
Yeah, the Jaguars are hoping to get a little bit of a run here and tighten up that score.
Paulson to serve again. Dug by Barkel. Overpass. Williams is there. Over in 3. Nice job by Herenda. Outside. Labasse gets the point. We'll see if Coach Soyama goes to a timeout. He's got 2 he can use. I bet he lets his team go 1 more point here to right the ship, Jason, before calling that one.
Yeah, definitely. He wants to make sure that his girls can shake off the adversity, and get out there and get these next 2 points to take the first game.
It's 3 in a row right now for Gregori. Paulson continues to serve. Paulson floats it over. Denny digs. Herenda going near side. Nichetti down the line. Gets the point. And it's game point for El Camino.
Yeah, Nichetti looked way determined to get that extra point. She said 3 was enough for you guys to go on a run. I'm going to go ahead and get 1 more point and get us into game point.
Serving is Barkel for game 1. Van Dyke going outside. Labasse, but too far. Labasse mistimes the jump. And the point to El Camino, and they win game 1, 25-19. Well, El Camino takes the first one. We will see what happens in game 2 here in the Girls Division II Volleyball Championship in the Sac-Joaquin section from the University of California, Davis's Athletic and Recreation Center, the ARC, on the campus of the UC Davis Aggies. Back with more here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com, in just a moment.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us on PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Jeff Kurtz alongside Jason Patterson. Our producer today is Nathan Schemmel. Timothy King providing all the video for you here on this court. We would be neglectful, Jason, if we didn't let you know who our officials are for today. Our lead official, Martin Bagnasco, on the chair on the far end of the floor. Brent Wampler is our what's called the down official on the near side right in front of the scorer's table. Our lines people, Carrie Young and Casey Fulton. And it's a credit also to all the officials who get an opportunity to referee these championship games. Both of these teams, regardless of the outcome today, will get another volleyball game they get to play in the state championships as we start state playoffs next Tuesday. Seeding takes place on Sunday. And the winner will get a winner of this match will get a home game. The loser hits the road. And that is no easy task. A lot of good volleyball in the Northern California area. What with the Central Coast section over in San Jose, the North Coast section in the Bay Area, the Sac-Joaquin section, you get some good schools coming out of the northern section as well. San Francisco section usually throws a squad in there. It's a lot of competition and a lot of quality volleyball programs and players that we've seen through the years in covering games, both as KBCSports.com, part of the PlayOn High School Sports Network, and now PlayOnSports.com, and a member of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section, High School Sports Network. Gregori now to our right-hand side, going right to left. El Camino to our left, going left to right. On your screen, again, El Camino, if you're just joining us, in the white jerseys with the green lettering. Gregori, the navy blue tank tops with the white lettering and the gold trim. Officials making sure that everyone's rotations are in order from the coaches. And we've seen where clerical errors on the part of coaches have led to points for their opponent, and in critical moments as well, especially in these state title games over the last couple of years. Some incorrect assignments and writing of lineups on the part of coaches led to points for the opposing team, and that was the margin of victory. So make sure you have a good secretary on your staff as part of the
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, definitely don't want to give up any points just from writing the wrong words down.
And the wrong lineup. Emily Van Dyke serves for Gregori. We are in play here in game 2. El Camino up 1-0. Lamone the dig. Wersch near side. Good dig by Mattis, and the first point to El Camino.
Yeah, they just look like they're picking up right where they left off on game one. Just constantly moving. They look like a nice chiseled athlete out there as one solid team.
Serving is Michaela Nichetti. Nichetti dug by Wersch. Bump set back row. Labasse over in 3. Mattis is there, and now we got a feed. No, Horrenda hit the net. That was a tough pass. She even had her foot underneath the line as well, so the officials could have gotten her for either one of those. But not much she could do about that. We're tied at 1. Serving is Michaela Wersch. Here's 2 players attacking the net, but a nice block by Labasse. Dahlberg went with Denny, and they both jumped a little bit too early, I think, and a miss hit leads to the block for Gregori. Serving is Wersch. Denny to Horrenda, back to Denny, and the point to El Camino.
Yeah, anytime the ball is set for Denny, you better watch out if you're the Gregori Jaguars, because she has just been outstanding so far in this matchup.
Horrenda to serve. Lamone digs. Van Dyke to Labasse, short. Nice job, Barkel recovering. And Denny gets the point as the teams went back and forth. 3-2 El Camino.
Yeah, she almost seemed shocked that that point came as easy as it did. Nonetheless, it is a point, again, for the Eagles, trying to go on a little bit of a run here.
Lamone to Van Dyke to Labasse. El Camino, nice D. Wersch, a good save. Lamone over in 3. It's going to go wide. 4-2 the score. And Gregori looks a little bit off their game defensively right now, Jason.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely looking like El Camino has caught them a little bit off guard with how fast and how well they are playing. It pretty much just looks like Gregori is trying to play catch-up right now.
A net violation goes against El Camino, the point to the Jaguars. Into the ball game, Kathleen Rosales will replace Courtney Robinson. Rosales will move to the back row for defense. 4-3 the score, though we just lost the scoreboard for a second, so good thing we've got our producer on top of it. We'll keep that score for you. Meanwhile, Wersch, nice save. Pass near side. Labasse gets a great look at that ball and ties the game at 4.
Yeah, Labasse definitely has some power out there on those kills, you can tell.
And we got a timeout on the floor as we had an issue with our electronic scoreboard to the right-hand side of the floor. And the score went from 4-3 to 0-0, so now we're getting it reset. Just making sure we have the accurate count. It's one of our linesmen from our Division 5 matchup who's on top of that. Dennis Hobart quickly handling the electronics and getting this thing squared away at 4 each.
As the football team chimes in for the Gregori Jaguars, definitely a big following out here. I got to keep mentioning that.
Nice block at the net, still playable. Gregori thought they were done, not quite. Nice dig by Dahlberg. Pass near side, Labasse is blocked. Good backside D by Rosales. Over in 3, it's going to go wide, and the point to El Camino. They're up 5-4.
Yeah, that was solid play by El Camino. Labasse was going up for her kill, and they got a solid block on that one. If you can take the ball out of Labasse's hands, she looks like the primary kill for Gregori.
Yeah, she is a good offensive weapon. Here's a pass middle. Van Dyke's going to set up Labasse for a tap. Barkel is there, keeping it alive. The Eagles, and Denny leaves it short, and a little bit frustrated. Hits the ball after the play is over. We're tied at 5. Into the ball game, Christine Paulson. She'll go to serve. As to the bench goes Waverly Green. Paulson, dug by Garner. Horrenda back row, Nichetti with a big swing. Keeping it alive, Denny. Nichetti Denny over in 3, deep ball out. And Gregori has their first lead of game 2 and their first lead since early on in game 1.
Yeah, they're starting to look like they're calming down a little bit, starting to get into their game plan.
Paulson still serving. Herenda on the slide. Denny beats the block, keeping it alive. No, we got a whistle. And Denny ended up under the net. Gregori gets the point. 7-5. This equals Gregori's biggest lead here in games 1 and 2. 2 points. Denny to Herenda. Nochetti from the back row. Nice recovery on a pass. It was a little awry. Here's Labasse going high. Denny digs. Herenda bump set back row. Over in 3 is Garner. Van Dyke brings it back. Free opportunity for El Camino. No, it goes wide. Wide off of Sordello.
That's a big point for El Camino. Gregori was just starting to go on a little bit of a run. It's good for them to get the ball back on their side of the court.
7-6. El Camino trails by 1. Battle at the net. 50-50 ball kept alive by Barkel. She hits it deep to Garner. Over in 3, Denny. Wersch. To Van Dyke to Labasse. Down the line. How did she get that?
Yeah, that was an amazing kill. That was just nice placement right there on that kill by Labasse.
Well, she wasn't even looking. The ball was over her head. She just reached behind her head and tapped it. A no-look kill from Labasse. You very rarely see those. Here's a pass outside. Nochetti beats the block. No, it's out. It was outside the antenna. Gregori's up by 3. Nine 9-6 the score. Deep ball dug. Pass middle, and Williams puts it away for the Eagles.
Yeah, it seems like they have a lot of weapons out there for the Eagles. A lot of people that can go up and kill that ball. And so far, they're looking pretty good as they took game 1 and they're keeping in this one on game 2.
Serving is Barkel. Here's a pass near side. Wersch gets a good look and gets it in. 10-7 up off the bench. Courtney Robinson to the game in the front row. Lamone goes back row for the Jaguars. Meanwhile, on the other side, Marissa Mattis checks in for Barkel for El Camino.
It's definitely a tight game here in game 2. Going back and forth between the number 1 and number 2 seed in Division 2.
Mattis up in the air off the serve by Lamone. Here's Nochetti outside. Lamone the dig. Up in the air. Van Dyke, and a net violation against Williams. Gives Gregori an 11-7 lead. Their biggest lead in game 2, and El Camino is going to call a timeout. First timeout used by head coach Martin Stoyama and the El Camino Eagles. They trail 11-7 in game 2, but they lead it 1-0 in this girls Division 2 championship game.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Also, don't forget that PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
And we've got a lot of great highlights this fall, not only in football, which we cover mostly over the course of the fall, but girls volleyball. We've had some swimming highlights, field hockey, water polo, you name it. If it's a sport and it's played at the high school level, we've been covering it here this fall on playonsports.com. Nice kill from Michaela Nochetti. And the Eagles come out of the timeout and get a point, and they trail by 3, 11-8. Ariana Williams goes back to serve to our left-hand side for El Camino. Williams serve, dug by Paulson. Here's a pass, Wersch. Denny is there, bump set. This goes to Nochetti, off the block, playable. Up in the air, Labasse. Van Dyke tries to tap, but it was behind her head. Tough play. And the point to the Eagles.
Yeah, that was very tough. She tried to do a no-look at herself. Unfortunately, she didn't get it high enough, and it just happened to go into the net. Another point for the Eagles.
Williams serves again. Paulson digs. Here's a pass middle. Robinson dug by Denny, and Horrenda went to set Dahlberg, and I think Dahlberg was looking for something a little quicker. Paulson out. Waverly Green in. 12-9 Gregori. Serving Emily Van Dyke. Garner back in one, and the kill put away by Green makes it a 13-9 Gregori lead.
Yeah, Gregori is just doing all they can to keep this lead intact, and so far doing a pretty good job at it, keeping the Eagles at bay.
Denny with a dig. Horrenda goes middle. Nichetti with a tap. Back in one. Nichetti sends it deep, keeping it alive. Gregori back in three. Dahlberg, Horrenda, far side. Nichetti, big swing and the point.
That was nice defense by Gregori, but unfortunately the Eagles proved to be a little bit too much on that rally, and they were able to kill it and get that point.
That was more scramble defense on the part of Gregori, just to keep it alive as opposed to sending a free ball over and putting El Camino in a more difficult position. But Nichetti able to attack and get the point. 3-point game. Wersch, the second player through, is blocked by Denny and Dahlberg. 13-11.
Yeah, if I'm Gregori here, I don't want to let El Camino climb back into this one.
Nichetti the serve. Lamone, nice dig, pass middle. That's going to be a point, and a big one right there for Courtney Robinson to stem the tide.
Yeah, that was definitely a big point to keep the Eagles at a little bit of distance.
Wersch to serve. Denny digs. Horrenda goes back row. Nichetti. Nice job of self-defense play by Wersch. Battle at the net, and Dahlberg another block.
Yeah, it almost looked like Robinson for Gregori there. Didn't quite know where that ball was as it fell right at her feet. Coach looking like he's starting to get a little bit angry with a couple of his girls, trying to get him a little bit more focused.
Horrenda's serve. This is Labasse on the attack. And get in the way of that at your own peril.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I like that I'm on the sideline and I don't have that ball coming after me. She's got a real arm on her. She can seriously get up there and kill that ball, does Labasse.
Check the quality of your health insurance before you step in front of that one.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
Kathleen Rosales to serve. 15-12 the score. Down the line, Nichetti digs, Horrenda bump set to Denny. Nice job keeping it up in the air. Rosales battle at the net. This is Garner. Horrenda, quick pass. Dahlberg gets it in.
That was a solid quick pass by the Eagles there. Was able to get the defense from the Jaguars off balance and followed by a solid kill. It leads to another point for the Eagles. So Eagles trying to come back in this one, only down 2 points now.
15-13 Gregori. Van Dyke goes middle. Great location by Sordello, who's had a couple of key points in this game too, Jason.
Yeah, that was very nice for Sordello. Just a nice little dump off right there in the campfire. Burned the Eagles for a point there, keeping this lead. Definitely trying to keep the Eagles at a little bit of a distance, and 3 points is pretty solid.
It's a working 2 to 3 point margin right now for Gregori as Christine Paulson serves. Garner digs, bump set, Horrenda going back row this time and into the net on the kill from Denny, and now it's a 4-point Jaguars advantage.
Yeah, I definitely like this coming from Gregori as they lost game one, but it didn't get them down, and they came back here game two. They're looking pretty solid, especially with their 4-point lead.
Horrenda goes backside, and Labasse takes that kill from Denny and destroys it.
Yeah, she's proving not only can she kill the ball, she can get up there and block too. She's proven to be a force to be reckoned with out there for the Gregori Jaguars is Macy Labasse. Got here listed as a junior at 6 foot even.
Dig by Nichetti, bumps it outside. Williams goes over the double block, kept alive. No, Paulson tried to get it to Van Dyke, who attempted to redirect it, but the point goes to the Eagles, and they trail by 4.
The Eagles are doing a pretty good job at trying to keep in this game, though. The Jaguars have been trying to pull away, and the Eagles just haven't really let them do that. So good job to the Eagles.
Here's a pass going middle. Barkel is there. Horrenda sets out Nichetti, and Gregori gets it over in 3. Nice play. This is Nichetti again. That time, Gregori is not going to be able to make the play, and the point goes to El Camino. It's 18-15, Gregori.
Yeah, even though Gregori gets a couple of those scrambled defenses where they can get the ball back over the net, the Eagles are set and ready to go on the other side, and they just keep making these Gregori Jaguars work.
Well, Gregori did a good job getting it over quickly, but Horrenda, nice recognition, is now we've got a service error on the part of El Camino. Negates the good play by Horrenda a moment ago, kept it alive for El Camino. 19-15, Gregori back up by 4. This is a comfortable working margin for the Jaguars.
Yeah, they definitely seem comfortable here in game 2, a lot less frantic than game 1.
Labass's serve. Horrenda goes far side. Nichetti blocked, kept alive by Nichetti. Denny's going to feed Nichetti again. A light touch back in 1. Denny's going to set to Horrenda, who's going middle. Williams for a dump. Nice job again, Rosales. Deep ball is in. Wersch. What defense by Rosales and Paulson in the interior, keeping Gregori in that point.
Yeah, that was definitely all the interior ball play there. They made a couple nice digs and were able to get the point eventually with a nice rally going back and forth.
El Camino is going to use their second and final timeout in game 2. Gregori has bounced back nicely after falling 25-19 in that game 1, Jason. They have done a much better job here in game 2, and they've got a 5-point advantage.
Yeah, they looked a whole lot more calm here in game 2. Maybe a little frantic, maybe the nerves getting to them. We did say that this is only the second year for varsity football or varsity volleyball for Gregori, so a freshly new team to the championship event here at UC Davis. So it took them a game to get into it. They didn't get blown out in game 1, but game 2 they really came out. They were really calm, and they've kept the Eagles at bay here with a 4-point, I believe it's a 4-point lead. No, it's a 6-point.
20 to 15.
There you go. So,
20 to 15. Sorry, we were blocked temporarily. We should just look at our producer, Nathan Schemmel, and see what he's got.
And he's got
on top of it. Serving is Labass. Labass over, dug by Barkel. Horrenda goes to Williams. Nice defense once again by Gregori. Blocked again at the net. Gregori back in 1. Nichetti off the tape, and this time the effort by Paulson. She's not able to get it returned, but wow, oh boy, Gregori is all over it defensively right now.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely constantly moving all over it is definitely a good way to explain it.
Barkel to serve for El Camino, trailing by 4. Van Dyke with the dump. Barkel is there. Outside Nichetti, the tap. Saved by Paulson. Back row, Labass. Horrenda's going far side. Nichetti again, too close to the net. 2 tough passes right there for El Camino. Up in the air, Wersch in 3 sends it deep. There's Garner. Pass middle, Williams. Deep ball, net violation against Gregori. El Camino trails by 3, 20 to 17.
This is a good game here. I like the back and forth action. Not one team has been more dominant than the other. Both just Gregori has been able to get enough to take the lead as they get another, or as the Eagles get a point there.
Rosales unable to handle that serve, and Gregori's going to use a timeout. They've got 1 left. It was 20 to 15 a moment ago. El Camino goes on a 3-0 run. It's now 20 to 18. Gregori looking to regroup, Jason, and that sometimes a timeout when you're playing well can be not very helpful. And for Gregori there, after the El Camino timeout, El Camino came out, guns blazing. They get 3 points in a row. Now Gregori's looking to try to stop the El Camino attack with a timeout of their own to slow the Eagles' momentum.
Yeah, that timeout proved to definitely be worthy for the Eagles. They came out, went on a 3-0 run. Maybe that timeout, as they use in football, to ice the kicker and maybe ice the whole team over there. But it
certainly ice the server, Barkel.
Yeah, it definitely seemed to work. So let's see if the Eagles can't get these 2 more points made up and make this an even more interesting game 2.
20 to 18. Eagles lead it 1-0. Barkel serves. It's clean. Paulson. Excuse me, that was Rosales. Wersch blocked, and it's a touch, and it's out. And what do we got? And now we have a conversation. So our linesman, Kerry Young, said there was a touch, and then it went out, and the point goes to Gregori. And I think that's the correct call. Nice job by the officiating crew. getting together to make sure they got that right. 21-18 is the score. Gregori by 3. Mattis into the game, replaces Barkel. Meanwhile, Robinson wanted to replace Rosales in the lineup, finally is allowed to. So the officials just checking to make sure those were the correct substitutions. Lamone serves. Herenda, far side, Nichetti, blocked. Denny is there. Herenda dumps and gets the point. That was smart play.
Yeah, that was a very nice smart play by Herenda. She definitely faked the set and dumped it right over. And none of the Jaguars were ready for that one. I wasn't either. I was already looking up, ready for the set. Little do I know the ball is already over there for a point for the Eagles.
Imagine if you were actually playing.
Yeah.
You have to decipher that. 21-19. Williams' serve is out. Tough time for a service error right there.
Yeah, it looked like she just got it on the side of her fist there, and it just happened to go out. That's an unfortunate event for the Eagles. You don't want to give up any unneeded mistakes to this Gregori team, as they have proven that they are able to keep in these games.
Van Dyke serves. Nichetti with some smoke on that. 22-20, Gregori.
Yeah, that was definitely a heater over there from Nichetti.
Now Nichetti goes to serve, and she gets the service ace. And it's a 1-point game. Coach Silva up off the bench. He's not calling a timeout. He's got one more he can use, just trying to encourage his troops a little bit. Nichetti serve, Werstigs. Van Dyke back row, Labasse with some smoke on that too, and the point. That's a great back row attack from Labasse.
Yeah, that was very nice. Very nice from Gregori. That they were letting the Eagles claw back into this one, and they were able to get that point. That was a big point for the Jaguars.
23-21. Garner, Diggs. Herenda goes middle. Denny, who's been quiet, and Wersch does her best matrix move right there to avoid touching that ball. And it's game point for Gregori. Denny has been very quiet in game 2. She was really active for El Camino in game 1, but we haven't called her name much in game 2. Herenda goes to Denny in the middle. Kept alive by Gregori. Labasse down the line wide. 24-22, another game point.
Yeah, as the Gregori football team starts chanting Uno Mas for one more for this Jaguar volleyball team.
Devin Herenda serving. Lamone, Van Dyke, back row. Oh, and that's going to be the point. It's off the block by Courtney Robinson and hits the court, and we are tied at 1.
As this place erupts for the Gregori Jaguars, I definitely like that there's a following out here. I like the sportsmanship from the football team to come out and support their girls volleyball teams. Back and forth matchup as each team has taken one game. So after 2 games played, we have a tie here. Gregori and El Camino, the number 1 and number 2 seed. So perfectly fitting.
Yes, it now comes down to a best 2 out of 3. And, you know, as the coaches were passing each other, Ron Silva, Martin Soyama, the head coach for El Camino, was telling us before the game that Ron Silva was a mentor for him. In fact, he didn't coach under Ron, but he learned a lot from him and going to camps and just being around him. And Ron, having coached for a long, long time, we mentioned at Ripon High School for a number of years now, building a program at Gregori High School. Both coaches sharing a moment as they were passing in front of the scorers table. I think Martin said something to the effect of, quite a game we got going here, isn't it? And Ron smiled at him and they shook hands and got ready for game 3. So you like to see that kind of sportsmanship. Gregori out of the Modesto Metro Conference down in Modesto, California, and El Camino in the Capital Athletic League here I should say here, but nearby in Sacramento. Certainly a lot closer for El Camino to get here today than Gregori. So as we look to game 3, and this becomes the swing game because whoever takes game 3 now has a 2-1 advantage and can close it out with one more win. Both teams, I mean, we're pretty evenly matched here. El Camino outscoring Gregori by 6 in game 1. Gregori outscores El Camino by 3 in game 2. Who needs to get the hot hand here for each one of these squads as we move into game 3?
Right now, I'm going to have to say it's going to go towards Gregori. I feel like they have to keep doing exactly what they did in Game 2, and that's keep the Eagles at bay. El Camino proving that even with Gregori's solid play, they're never out of these games. They only lost by 3 points on that last game, and they won by 6 their first. So proving that they are a solid team. If I'm Gregori, I need to just keep it going, keep doing exactly what I did in Game 2, and hope to take Game 3 as this is a pivotal game.
Cassidy Denny also needs to get on track and get the ball a little bit more for El Camino because she was very quiet in Game 2 and was instrumental in their Game 1 win.
Yeah, I agree. She was definitely out there killing the ball in Game 1, a little bit more quiet Game 2. She had a couple of kills that went a little long, and I think a couple that went out. So she's just trying to find her range out there. Was she in Game 2? She wasn't able to locate it. Hopefully she can in Game 3 and can get the Eagles here on a 2-1 advantage going into Game 4.
Meanwhile, Macy Labasse, who didn't play poorly in Game 1, but wasn't as much of a factor, certainly stepped up in Game 2 as Gregori seemed to settle in after that Game 1 loss.
Yeah, definitely. She was getting up there. She was putting some real heat on some of those balls, made a couple solid blocks as well. So she's proving to be pivotal out there and multitasking, blocking and killing all at one time. So she's definitely a weapon out there for the Gregori Jaguars.
El Camino now to our right-hand side, Gregori to our left. Our officials, and in particular Brent Wampler, with the task of making sure everyone's in the proper rotation. Garner is going to check in. She'll replace Williams in the back row defensively. The serve is going to go to Michaela Nichetti to our right. So it's Nichetti, Mattis, Garner in the back row, Denny, Dahlberg, Horrenda in the front. We'll get you Gregori in just a moment. First serve is going to be dug by Waverly Green, and it's brought back, no, outside the antenna. That is Michaela Wersch in the front row with Courtney Robinson and Emily Van Dyke. Back row, Waverly Green, Macy Labasse, and the libero, Justine Lamone. 1-0 El Camino. Green, Van Dyke, middle Robinson, blocked, keeping it alive. Gregori, and then no one will get to the last ball.
Yeah, that was definitely just another one of those miscommunications there by Gregori. All the girls looking at each other, trying to figure out who's going to get the ball, and as they try to figure that out, the ball falls down for another point for the Eagles.
Nichetti with the serve. Labasse, dug by Denny. Horrenda goes middle, Dahlberg gets the point. And El Camino out to a quick 3-0 lead in Game 3.
They've done that here in every game so far. They've come out pretty solid to start all these games. Gregori was able to come back in Game 2 and take Game 2. So let's see if the Eagles can't do what they did in Game 1 and keep the lead and take it as well.
And a service ace. This is a nice bounce back on the part of El Camino, and I think Coach Silva's trying to conserve those 2 timeouts and not have to burn one too early here.
Yeah, I agree. It would be an early timeout if he had to call it here in the next couple points. But if El Camino goes on a 5 or 6 point run, I would definitely anticipate a timeout.
Outside, this is Wersch. Down the line, Nichetti digs. Horrenda in 2. Lamone. Van Dyke outside Wersch again. Cut shot. Denny, nice dig. Horrenda bump set back to Denny for the kill. Lamone to Van Dyke. Labasse free ball over in 3. Garner. Bump set. Horrenda. This is Denny again off the block. Labasse is there. Van Dyke far side. Wersch blocked at the net. Dahlberg keeps it alive and hit the net. And Gregori's on the board, 4-1. It's easy to have a letdown after you win a game, and I think Gregori may have relaxed a little bit going into Game 3, but that point certainly helped him, a little bit of a back and forth.
Yeah, they definitely didn't want to go down 5 points to start out Game 3, so that was a big point here. Now they got the serve as well.
Van Dyke serves. Horrenda to Denny. Oh, and Denny makes it look easy.
Yeah, that looked almost effortless from Denny, but that's exactly what the Eagles wanted to do here, is get Denny moving back on those kills as she was in Game 1.
Barkel back in the game, replaces Mattis into the front row. Horrenda serves. Lamone, Van Dyke, Labasse. Nichetti digs for El Camino. Back Nichetti, Lamone back in 1. Nice job by Denny to keep it alive. Dahlberg, frenetic action out here on the floor. Wersch is blocked. The ball rolls back over the net from Horrenda. Now Wersch again, and this time she gets it in.
That was a very nice kill there by Gregori. getting their second point of game 3, making it down to only 3-point lead here for the Eagles.
El Camino coaching staff just checking to make sure Gregori's attack from the back row didn't cross the line before they left their feet. Here's a pass middle, Denny. Nice dig by Van Dyke. Warsh again from the back, but Denny keeps it alive. Horenda's going to go back to Denny on the kill, and that was a self-defense play on the part of Van Dyke. I don't blame her.
Yeah, Denny sure got some vertical leap on her. She can get up there. Her knees are almost past the halfway point of the net, so she gets some pretty nice height up there when she goes up there for those kills.
Serving is Garner. Here's a pass. Labasse a little bit crowded at the net. Players going back and forth. Denny sends it deep. Warsh keeps it alive. Here's Labasse on the attack off the block. Denny wants the ball. Instead, Horenda dumps. Lamone is there. Labasse. Oh, my goodness.
She's got a serious kill on her.
Oh, replace your divots. There is a dent in the floor here at UC Davis.
Yeah, I agree. The floor is not a happy camper when
No.
she goes up for those kills.
Now serving is Kathleen Rosales in a 6-3 game. El Camino leading in game 3. Horenda is going to go backside to Denny. Dug by Van Dyke, but Green can't get it over in 2.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Waverly Green. She wasn't able to quite get it over, but a good solid play there by the Eagles to get that point and get the ball back into their hands.
Cassidy Denny now serving. The jump serve is dug by Warsh. Labasse with a tap, and we got a lift. Labasse is questioning that. She took off a little bit away from the net, and the officials say she carried that ball a little bit to the net with her as she was floating towards the tape. 8-3 the score. El Camino's out strong in game 3. Here's a set by Barkel, the near side Nichetti. Van Dyke just gets a hand on it. Labasse over in 3. Pass near side, Nichetti again. And Van Dyke is once again in that awkward no man's land where she's got to just get a hand up to protect her face.
Yeah, Nochetti's got a kill on her herself too. She's out there. She's got a few kills already for these Eagles as the Eagles are going to take an early lead, 9-3 here. So
this is a nice bounce back from
agree.
game 2 for El Camino. They're really coming out strong.
Yeah, like I said before, they came out strong in games 1 and 2. They were able to keep the Jaguars at bay for game 1 and take game 1. Game 2, Gregori was able to climb back in it and keep the Eagles at bay late in that game. Here the Eagles are just trying to get that lead early like they have in the first 2 games, but this time they want to maintain it and take game 3 to give them the 2-1 lead here in the match.
We're in the Division II championships. El Camino is the defending Division II champion. They won in Division III in 2009. That was in Martin Soyama's first year. This is his 3rd championship game in 4 years. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all, and you jump a division in there too.
Exactly. So. Serving is Denny. Gregori in their first championship in 2 years. So between these coaches, they do not stray from championship games too often. That is a point for Gregori. Nichetti was trying to say, wait a minute, it was not a block, and I think they were thinking it went into the tape, but nobody's arguing too vehemently for El Camino. The point to the Jaguars, 9-4 the score. Served by Paulson. Horenda goes middle to Williams. Williams has been kind of a silent partner in this whole deal, and she makes her presence known with a kill in the middle.
Yeah, that was a very nice kill, but a very nice setup there by Horenda. She set that ball nice, and Williams was already on her way up. That was just nice timing and good team play.
Barkel's serve, Warsh. The dump attempt is blocked by Nichetti. And then a miscommunication. Labasse was calling for it, and Warsh backed off. That's the second time that's happened to Gregori in game 3, and they trail 11-4.
Yeah, you're starting to notice a little bit of desperation on the faces of Gregori. They're starting to sense that the Eagles are starting to get going in their game plan. They need to find something to take them out of that.
There's a touch. Labasse gets the point. Denny was saying there's a touch. I didn't even get anywhere close to the ball, though I dove for it. But that was a much-needed point for the Jaguars.
Yeah, Denny's definitely upset by that call, but nonetheless, the call is made. It's time to move on.
11-5. Denny's going to go with her back to Nichetti for a cross-court kill. Are you kidding me?
That was very
Denny
nice.
turned around with her back to Nichetti on purpose, sent it from the far corner to the near side. Nichetti cuts it back across the court to the far line. Wow.
Yeah, I don't even know if Denny expected that play to work that well, but nonetheless, that was a very solid play by the Eagles.
12-5. Williams on the serve. Here's Wersch on the attack. Splits the block, and Mattis can't keep it alive. Going back to that last point, Jason, I don't think you and I could do as well if I handed you the ball and you walked over and placed it on the other side of the court. I mean, that was just pinpoint passing on the part of El Camino.
Now, there's a reason why I'm over here doing the broadcasting and not playing volleyball. And that play right there proves it. That was a real nice play.
12-6. Here's Nichetti with the tap, sent right back by Robinson. Nichetti's going to wind up a little bit more, and this one is wide. 12-7. If you're El Camino, though, you don't want to get too lax. Start taking chances. Just go back to your bump set spike routine. Limon on the serve. Here's Dahlberg. She's going to do exactly that and gets it in. Carrie Young with the flourish on the call, the line's call on that left-hand side.
Yeah, they were definitely listening to you on that one. You say bump set spike, and those are the exact three things that follow after that. So very nice by the Eagles.
Nichetti on the serve. That is Paulson getting it up in the air. Wersch on the attack, dug by Garner. Dahlberg on the feed from Horrenda. Nice D by Limon and Paulson. Here's Denny one-on-one. Limon and Paulson again. No, we got a double on Paulson. What an effort by the Gregori defense, though.
Yeah, that was some serious effort there by Gregori.
2 touchdowns to 1 right now. That was Nichetti's serve. Over in 3, Labasse. Garner to Horrenda. Near side, Denny. Left hand, Paulson. Gregori keeps it alive. Denny wants the ball. Instead, pass Dahlberg. Van Dyke goes middle, Robinson. Denny to Horrenda. Back row, Nichetti. And blocked by Robinson. Not in my neighborhood, says Miss Robinson. And it's a 14-8 game.
Yeah, she's definitely a force to be reckoned with right there at the net. Standing 6'1". That's taller than I am. That's a big girl out there.
Horrenda goes to Denny. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Gregori on the attack. Labasse in the back row, and that is in. 14-9. Labasse so efficient with her kills, especially from the back row.
Yeah, she's definitely something else out there. She's getting up there. She's got some serious smoke on those balls.
Emily Van Dyke to serve. Horrenda goes middle to Denny. Labasse keeps it alive. Limon to Wersch. Deep ball out. 15-9. And Barkel will come in for Mattis. Serving is Horrenda. Limon gets it up in the air. Labasse over in 3, and nobody went for the ball for El Camino.
Yeah, there's that miscommunication that you see throughout any volleyball game. Sometimes nobody knows who to get it. Maybe you need to institute a little bit of a baseball thing. I got it kind of thing.
Yeah, and sometimes 2 players call for it at the same time, and they both back off. Here's Dahlberg. Green to Labasse. Horrenda going near side. Denny again. Great approach and out. And it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, she just put a little bit too much on that. It was a nice set. Good opportunity for the kill. She just put a little bit too much.
Garner to Horrenda to Dahlberg, and now it's a 3-point game. A moment ago, El Camino was up by 7. They now lead 15-12.
Yeah, Dahlberg just wasn't able to get enough of that to send it back over the net. Another point by the Jaguars as they're clawing back into this one.
Denny up in the air. Horrenda goes back to Denny off the block. That's going to get a point for El Camino.
That was a much-needed point for the Eagles.
I think it was timeout time if they don't get the point right there.
Yeah, I agree. Good play by Denny to keep her Eagles up by 4 points. and get the serve back on them and to kill that run there by the Jaguars.
Garner serves. Lamone to Van Dyke, outside LaBasse. Cut shot, and that's the point. LaBasse is practically automatic right now.
Yeah, she went to the court where there was only one person standing. Unfortunately, Denny was unable to bump that one back in. So another point from the Jaguars is they only give up one after the run, and now they're right back at it.
Serving is Rosales. A lot of volleyball still left to be played in game 3. Denny brings it back. Nichetti over in 3. Pass far side, LaBasse with a tap. Horrenda was there with the backside defense. Bump at the net, battle at the net. Garner almost lands in her coach's lap. Going for that one, but can't make the play, and it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, I don't know. The Eagles need to calm down and just do exactly what they were doing to start these games.
It was 14-7 a few moments ago. Now a 7-2 run for Gregori. Rosales, Nichetti up in the air. Horrenda's going to set Williams. Nice job by Williams, but a nice dig by Rosales. LaBasse over in 3. Horrenda goes back row Nichetti, off the block playable Van Dyke. Rosales going to bump set outside LaBasse. That's never good news, but she landed on the net. Oh, that's a huge swing right there. That would have made it 16-15 because that ball was in.
Yeah, that was very nice. So you got to have some tenacity to go up there for a block with LaBasse about to kill it. Nonetheless, they hung in there, and LaBasse touched the net. There's a service error.
A service error on the part of Denny, and it's 17-15.
Yeah, that's a good timeout for the Eagles. I agree with this timeout.
Yep,
as
good
they're only getting 1 point to every Gregori's like 3. So it's definitely time to calm down the girls and get them back to whatever they were doing at the start of this game.
Well, it was 14-7 a few moments ago. It's now 17-15, so an 8-3 run on the part of Gregori in this Division II championship game. We'll keep it right here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. Want to let you know we got more games coming your way later on this evening. We were supposed to, in about 20 minutes, start the Division I and 4 championships, but we're going to be well behind that timeline, so probably maybe an 8:30 to 8:45 start for those games. We do have volleyball going on in the central section, so between our championships here, if you're a volleyball junkie and want some more of it, we've got central section volleyball going on down in the Fresno and Visalia areas. 5 championships all started at 7 o'clock, so they're probably a game or 2 in. Invite you to check out that action. And, of course, plenty of football coming your way tomorrow from Sacramento and all around the state of California and the nation here on PlayOnSports.com. Out of the El Camino timeout, Nichetti's going to tap over. There is Paulson. Now LaBasse blocked. Good defense, Gregori. That was Paulson. LaBasse a tap. Nichetti gets it back in 1. LaBasse wants the ball again. She's going to get the ball again. She's going to get the point.
Man, they are no joke out there. They're getting the ball to LaBasse whenever she's asking for it. And anytime she asks for it, she makes sure she puts a nice kill on it. LaBasse is definitely looking like the stable point for this Gregori offense.
Well, that's the kind of situation where she's supposed to get a touch every time. I think every time they're going to feed her the ball. Here's a pass middle, Williams. And a nice job and a great effort by Paulson to get to that ball, as well as Wersch with the hustle, but the point goes to the Eagles. They're up by 2, 18-16.
That's a big point for the Eagles. They definitely do not want to let Gregori come back and tie this one up.
Barkel needs to get a little run at the service line. Wersch to Van Dyke. This time a changeup, nice defense. LaBasse, though, gets the point on the block. That time the ball went to Sabrina Sordello, who had a few points in game 1. Barkel got it back over in 1, and LaBasse tapped it right back down. It's an 18-17 game.
Yeah, this one's getting closer and closer. And you can start to sense it from these Eagles here. They're starting to play like it's getting a lot closer.
Denny up in the air. Nichetti goes middle, Williams block. Nichetti in 2. Excuse me, that was Horrenda to Williams. El Camino gets the point. Dahlberg back into the front row. I think that's good news for El Camino. She's been effective in the middle. To the line, Williams to serve. Her team up by 2, 19-17. Pass outside Wersch. Blocked at the net and it trickled on the net. Dahlberg went to bump it and it landed on her shoulder and rolled down her arm.
Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate for Dahlberg as that ball just happened to play off the net a little bit weird and she was unable to make a nice bump on it. Let's get this Jaguar fan crowd into it.
Here's Nichetti with a tip. Van Dyke, Paulson, back row, Labasse. Barkel is there, near side. Nichetti down the line, and she's going to get the point. I'll tell you what, though, Jason, I've been really impressed, and it's actually been a catalyst for this run by Gregori, now trailing by 2, 20-18, that Paulson and Rosales have played such great defense for Gregori. They are getting to everything.
Yeah, they're definitely out there digging those balls out and getting the opportunity for Labasse to get the kill.
Labasse with a dig. Van Dyke, far side, Wersch. Wersch blocked at the net. Lamone's going to get in the air. Wersch again just gets it over. Here's a pass near side. Denny on the attack, down the line. It's out. 20-19. Green back in the game. She'll replace Paulson, who has an outstanding rotation from the back row into the front.
Denny's starting to look a little bit frustrated with her play so far here in game 3. This Gregori offense is starting to prove a little bit much.
Here's a pass. Dahlberg. Wow, that was a quick pass from Horrenda to Dahlberg for the point. Effective play. El Camino hanging on by their fingernails, leads by 2.
Yeah, they're definitely sticking in this one. The play, I'd say the dominant team has been Gregori so far, but the Eagles are keeping it solid.
Well, that early Eagle lead is paying off right now. They've had a working margin, and Gregori's had to come a long way back. Dahlberg is going to send it long, and it's 21-20. Serving is Wersch. 1-point game. Gregori's been working it down and working it down. Can they tie it up? Nichetti to Horrenda. Back to Nichetti in the back row. Off the tap. Van Dyke, Lamone. Nobody gets there. Third time that's happened to Gregori in this game. 3 free points for El Camino on miscommunications. Gregori's going to take a timeout, and that couldn't have come at a worse time, Jason. Now 22-20, side out, Eagles serve.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take a timeout there, seeing as you are pretty much you're headlining this game. You're basically the
Well, I'm not criticizing the timeout so much as it was unfortunate for Gregori
right,
where the ball fell. Yeah,
right.
and they had to use the timeout.
They had to take it. It's definitely unfortunate when you have to take a timeout like that. Saying it like they were the people definitely keeping the ball in motion, keeping the Eagles off bay. They were constantly going on runs. The Eagles were just keeping a point here and there to keep themselves in the lead. Nonetheless, I think that timeout almost pumps up El Camino.
Gregori, it's tough to come back. They were down 14-7. They've outscored El Camino since that point 13-8, but they still trail by 2. Serving is Garner. Garner, Nichetti, Horrenda, Barkel, Denny, Williams on the floor for El Camino. Lamone, Labasse, who's hitting right now. Nice dig, Garner back in 1, and there's Robinson. Robinson, Green, Labasse, Van Dyke, and Lamone on the floor. Lamone's going to come out. Into the ball game goes Sordello, and back to serve Rosales for Gregori, trailing by 1, 22-21.
Yeah, that point definitely pumped up the football crowd here for Gregori.
They have not sat down the entire match. Denny up in the air. Horrenda goes backside to Denny. She's blocked by Labasse. A one-player wrecking crew right now for Gregori, and we are tied here in game 3.
Yeah, the adrenaline is definitely flowing through Lavasse's veins right now.
Timeout by El Camino. This is their final timeout.
This is a big timeout right here. If I'm a Coach Soyama, I'm going to make sure that my girls know that this is a couple big points here. These next upcoming points are pretty big.
Each team out of timeouts. 22-22 in this, the third game, critical third game of a best of 5. El Camino won game 1, 25-19 if you're just joining us. Gregori took game 2, 25-22. Now we're all knotted up at 22. Here in game 3, El Camino led midway 14-7. Serving is Rosales. She's out there with Wersch in the back row. LaBasse, Sordello, and Green in the front. Van Dyke also in the back, the setter for Gregori. Here's the serve, dug by Denny. Horrenda goes middle. Williams barely got a piece of that ball. Van Dyke outside. LaBasse long. One of the few mistakes she's made in this entire game. And it's a 1-point advantage for El Camino.
That was a huge point for the Eagles. They needed to make sure they didn't go down, as they didn't want to give the Jaguars their first lead in this game.
And Denny, who's having a tough game 3, a service error, her second of this game, and we're tied at 23.
Yeah, a tough game 3 for Denny is probably an understatement. She was so solid in game 1. Game 2, she was
quiet,
a little bit quiet. In game 3, she's had a few mistakes.
Paulson now serving. Paulson floats one. Denny up in the air. Nice pass to Horrenda. Here's Nichetti. Gets the point. And it is game point for El Camino. They are reaching for the tape here at the finish line.
Yeah, I keep using the word big point, but it didn't get any bigger than that one.
Barkel trying to close it out. LaBasse. Look for LaBasse to get the ball. Here she comes down the line. Out! El Camino hangs on and takes game 3, 25-23, and head coach Martin Soyama lets out a sigh of relief after taking a 2-1 lead. We turn our attention to game 4. You're following the action in the Division II Girls Volleyball Championship in the Sac-Joaquin section right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Also, don't forget to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ballgame. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Well, this smells like a 5-gamer to me, Jason, right now. I'm thinking we're going the distance here, but it's going to take something from Gregori, who came storming back after trailing 14-7. But there was just too much to overcome. They managed to make up 5 of the 7-point deficit, but not the last 2, and they fall 25-23 in game 3.
Yeah, so far, all 3 games, the El Camino Eagles have came out firing, and they've taken a lead, I think, to start all 3 games. Gregori was able to climb back into the game 2 and take the game as well. They climbed back into game 3 and made game 3 a whole lot more interesting, but unfortunately they just weren't able to make up such a big difference that El Camino had given themselves at the start of game 3. So El Camino takes game 3. If I'm the El Camino Eagles, I want to try to build that early lead again, as it seemed to help them there towards the end of game 3, as even a few mistakes and a little bit of that, they were able to overcome that as they built such a big lead at the start of the game.
Well, and if you look at Gregori, and I think they'll look back on that game 3 and say, wow, we let 3 balls drop because of miscommunication defensively. 2 of them early after I think they relaxed a little bit after their game 2 win when they tied it at 1 game apiece. And then that one late where they had tied it and then let 1 fall, and then they trailed by 1, and they tied it 1 more time, but then weren't able to get over the top and take a lead in game 3.
Yeah, definitely costly mistakes there, letting that ball fall. Nonetheless, things that they can fix here in game 4. So let's see if they go ahead and do that and see if they can't tie this one up and take it to the game 5.
LaBasse was outstanding for Gregori. Meanwhile, Horrenda, Nichetti, and Dahlberg with some critical points. Horrenda good passing, and Nichetti some good points. Denny didn't have her best game 3, but that's okay because her teammates picked her up.
Yeah, this is a team game, so they're proving that over there for the El Camino Eagles.
Van Dyke is going to be serving for Gregori, now going right to left. Lamone in the game along with LaBasse in the back row. Wersch, Green, and Robinson in the front. Meanwhile, for El Camino going left to right, Williams, Mattis, Denny in the back row, Nichetti, Horrenda, and Dahlberg in the front. And now coming out is Williams, and Garner will enter as the libero in the back row. Serving Van Dyke, game 4, El Camino. Are they going to go back-to-back in this game 4 and take the title for the 2nd year in a row? They're going to start out with a point. Or is Gregori going to try to slow it down? Well, El Camino's up 1 point to none here in game 4, and serving it is Michaela Nichetti.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure El Camino's gotten the first point of every game so far.
Lamone to Van Dyke. Back row LeBass. And she's tied it at 1. LeBass is going to see a lot of activity here in Game 4.
Yeah, I don't see why she wouldn't, as she was so solid in Game 3.
Worsh to serve. Pass middle, Denny. Worsh the dig. Van Dyke near side, LeBass again. Down the line, it's 2-1 Gregori. If LeBass doesn't get the ball on 24 of their 25 points, something is wrong.
Yeah, she's definitely something else out there, just getting a lot of points for this Gregori Jaguar team.
Nichetti to Horrenda. Dahlberg is blocked by LeBass. No, it's got in. It just got in. Excuse me, the point to El Camino, 2-2. Horrenda to serve. Lamone with the overpass. Denny sends it right back. 3-2 El Camino.
That was a nice kill by Denny. It's exactly what she wants to do, get that smile back on her face and hopefully continue with the nice play that she was doing in Game 1.
Horrenda's serve is clean. Lamone, this time a better pass. Van Dyke. Here's LeBass again. Out. Just a little bit long. Now, the one thing you worry about is LeBass getting tired. And some of those long hits starts to show some fatigue.
Yeah, she was definitely angered with herself on that one as she clenched both her fists after putting that one out past the line.
Horrendous serve. Lamone is there again. Van Dyke to LeBass. LeBass blocked. LeBass again, this time with a tap. Denny is there. Denny wants the ball. Instead they go Dahlberg. She's blocked. And El Camino can't keep it alive. LeBass and Robinson combined for that block.
With a very nice save by our producer, Nathan Schimmel here.
Good hands. When all, throw your body in front of the equipment. That's the rule in broadcasting.
Very nice.
Serving is Rosales. 4-3 El Camino. Horrenda goes to Dahlberg, who has to jump twice. Here's LeBass. Off the tape. No, blocked. Here, LeBass again. She's going to tap it over. Horrenda with the dig. Along the net, 50-50 ball. Denny can't get it over.
This is exactly what I expected to see here come Game 4. Both teams obviously felt each other out enough in the first 3 games, and it's just going back and forth here in an exciting Game 4.
Rosales to serve. Deep ball, Nichetti. Horrenda dumps it, and nice defense. Once again, Rosales has played outstanding D, as has Paulson, and LeBass another point. She is being the workhorse right now for this Gregori squad.
Yeah, I would definitely like a stat to how many kills she's had throughout this matchup.
Rosales serves. Denny, Nichetti, Dahlberg once again gets an early attack, but gets the ball over, and then a deep ball from Barkel is long, and it's 6-4.
Yeah, Gregori's looking pretty good out here, Game 4. They definitely did not let the Eagles get off to their lead that the Eagles were they were used to getting there in the first 3 games.
Rosales over. Horrenda goes to Denny on the attack. Nice job. Van Dyke keeps it alive. LeBass in 3. Denny again, and Denny gets the point. She needs to get going for El Camino. I mean, she had an off Game 3, but if she gets rolling in Game 4, that's going to certainly help the Eagles' cause.
Yeah, I agree. She had a solid Game 1, and like you said, an off Game 3. So let's see if she can't do a little bit more Game 1.
Here's LeBass again.
Man.
Put it in the bank, 7-5.
Yeah, she's like automatic at this point.
Paulson in for Green. She'll go to serve. She joins Rosales in the back row, and can't say enough about those two. They have played outstanding defense along with Lamone in the back for Gregori. Denny, Horrenda to Denny. There's another save by Rosales. Paulson back the other way in 3. Garner up in the air. Horrenda goes middle, Williams. Rosales another save. LeBass is dug by Horrenda. Far side Denny with a tap. Paulson is there, of course. Here's Worsh. Worsh down the line and out. 7-6, Gregori by 1.
Yeah, that was a much-needed point from the Eagles. They definitely don't want to give this Jaguars any bit of breathing room. They want to keep the pressure on, seeing as the Eagles are 1 game away from taking this match.
Along the tape, and once again, Nathan Schemmel with a save here. That's 2 saves. Are we keeping track? Are we doing stats for our producer here too? That ball skimmed right by our table.
I'll give half the saves to the color analyst there.
It's like a half a sack. 7-7 ball game. Battle at the net, and Nichetti wins the point. And now Gregori, who's up by 2, trails by 1.
Yeah, it was a nice swing for the Eagles. They wanted to get right back into this one. Only, like I said, only 1 game away from taking this match and the division title. So.
Denny can't believe it. A service error. This is from a kid who, if I may use a basketball analogy, would be shooting 80% from the free throw line and would brick 3 free throws in the game. It's very unlike her.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to weigh on her. As you can see, she's pretty upset with herself over there.
It's her 3rd service error, which is very uncharacteristic. Horrenda goes middle. Williams gets the point, which we should point out speaks to how good Cassidy Denny has been over the course of her career, when 3 service errors over the game represents a drastic anomaly. Barkel to serve, 9-8 Eagles. Here's a pass near side, going up. Wersch gets the point, 9-9.
Yeah, very nice kill by Wersch. She got up there. She put a nice hitting on that ball. It was a little bit much for the Eagles to defend, and got another point for the Jaguars. I'm loving this back and forth game here in game 4.
Lamone to serve. Robinson back into the game, into the front row. We've got timeout. Officials timeout. They're just making sure the rotations are correct. Madison the game in the back row with Denny and Garner. In the front row for El Camino, Horrenda, Nichetti, and Williams. For Gregori in the front, Robinson has joined Van Dyke and Wersch. In the back row, Lamone, Paulson, and Labasse. Garner up in the air. Horrenda, far side. Nichetti beats the block.
Very nice play again by the Eagles. They are just, they're definitely, they feel a little bit more comfortable here is what it looks like at least.
10-9, but we expected a tight game 4, and that's what we have. And now another timeout. Officials timeout. Williams to serve. Williams serve, dug by Lamone. Van Dyke back row to Labasse, off the net, or off the block, playable. This is Nichetti. Nice job with Lamone on the dig. Good back and forth here. Best rally of the match. Wersch. And we got a net violation against El Camino, and we're tied at 10.
Yeah, this is definitely a back and forth matchup here in game 4. It's definitely entertaining.
Green replaces Paulson. Van Dyke to serve. Denny up in the air. Horrenda goes Nichetti. Back in 1. Nice job, Horrenda, keeping it alive. Mattis goes to Nichetti. Labasse wants the ball in the back row. Instead, they're going to go front row to Wersch. Long. 11-10.
Yeah, she put a nice kill on that ball with just a little bit too much air on it, so it happened to drift out past the line. It's definitely keeping it close. I can't stress how much I'm enjoying it going back and forth right now.
Green with a kill, and Garner can't handle it. We're tied at 11. Two games to 1, El Camino leading. In this Division II championship game, Wersch to serve. We're tied at 11. Horrenda goes middle, tap Denny. Up in the air, Labasse. Instead, middle, Robinson. I thought Labasse was going to get the ball. Here's the pass outside, Denny. Deep ball, Lamone can't get to it.
That was a nice play by Denny. She went out for the kill, and she just kind of set it right over the net. Very nice.
12-11. LaBasse off the serve by Herenda. The return. Herenda digs. Barkel bumps it back row. Nichetti into the net. Of course, we're tied again.
It's fitting.
It is. Rosales to serve. Denny to Herenda, middle, Dahlberg wide, and Gregori's got the lead, 13-12.
This is definitely becoming an exciting Game 4.
Well, nobody's been able to take a commanding lead here. Nobody's led by more than one. Denny up in the air. Herenda, backside, back to Denny. Green can't keep it alive, and we're tied again. Garner the serve. LaBasse back in the front row, off the block, playable by Herenda. Here's Barkel outside, Denny, and over. No, a lift is the call. And it's 14-13 El Camino.
Nice point by El Camino. I want to point out when LaBasse goes up for her kills, the bass that comes off when she hits the ball. There's just a lot of sound off of that.
There's one and a point. Tied at 14.
Just as I'm talking about it, you can almost feel it.
Almost like a hitter in baseball.
Yeah.
Certain guys, when the ball hits their bat, it sounds differently.
Yeah.
That's LaBasse when she hits.
She's definitely got some power out there.
There's certain players that you don't mind watching in warm-ups. LaBasse is one of those players that you come out early to watch get ready to play because she is a powerful hitter. Here's Herenda going to Denny. Doug. That time LaBasse, that pass a little bit high, still got enough mustard on it to make an impact, and this time the ball is out from Denny, and the point to Gregori, and they're back in front 15-14. I'll tell you what, Paulson and Rosales are everywhere defensively for Gregori. Nothing gets by those two. Paulson serving. Herenda goes middle to Williams, and Paulson couldn't handle that one, but that's one of the few.
Yeah, she's looked outstanding so far on the digs for defensive. We got a timeout, I think, by El Camino.
Yep, El Camino's going to call time when we're tied at 15. So it comes down to these final 10 points here in Game 4. El Camino trying to win it in Game 4. Gregori trying to force a Game 5. You're following the action here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
El Camino out of their own timeout that they called. They've got one left. Gregori still has both of theirs. El Camino will serve. It's a little uncharacteristic that you would call a timeout when you've got the serve and you've just tied the game, but Coach Soyama wanted to talk it over with his squad. Denny to serve. Dug by Rosales. Here is LaBasse. Denny puts it high in the air. Herenda outside Nichetti. Rosales with the save, and then the throwdown by Williams. Coach Silva for Gregori wants an over the net call against El Camino. He's not going to get it. 16-15. The Eagles up by one. Wersch, Van Dyke, near side LaBasse, off the block playable. Denny is there in the back row. Herenda goes far side. Nichetti, what a lead. Great pass by Herenda.
Yeah, the Eagles are starting to go back to their bread and butter, starting to go back to exactly what's been working. That's a pretty solid timeout there.
Yep, Gregori's going to take their first timeout. So each team with one remaining. First time in Game 4, Jason, where we've had a lead of greater than one by any team. El Camino leading 17-15. It has been that tight.
Yeah, the number 1 seed playing the number 2 seed here, and it's definitely showing here in Game 4 as we have a tight game. It's going back and forth. I believe at least 3 to 4 lead changes already.
I've lost track of how many ties we've had in Game 4. Every time we turn around, there's a tie.
It's definitely probably easier to keep track of the lead changes than the ties, as both teams are keeping it real close here in Game 4. The Eagles do have a game advantage, 2-1, so the Eagles are trying to close this out and take home their second Division II championships in a row.
We'll look for more of Macy Labasse getting the call for Gregori, though she's in the back row currently. Serving is Denny. The senior puts it in play. That is Rosales. Here's Labasse, excuse me, she was in the front row and makes her presence known with a point, 17-16.
She always looks so angry when she puts those spikes down. And almost like she envisions somebody that she absolutely despises on that ball, and she just puts a nice hurting on it.
Labasse with the serve. Horrenda, far side, Nichetti with a tap. Defensively, Gregori is there, but another lift call against Van Dyke. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, Coach Silva does not like that call.
18-16 the score. Serving it now is Barkel. Up in the air, Rosales. Pass near side. This is Wersch, blocked! Horrenda and Williams combine. Biggest lead of the game for El Camino is 3, 19-16.
That's a big lead, too, with the 2-1 advantage so far.
Barkel serves. Into the net, and it's not going to get over in 3. And now El Camino, El Camino up by 4, 20-16. Starting to pull away from Gregori. Does Gregori have one final stand? Barkel up in the air. Paulson, here's Wersch, out, and Gregori's going to have to use their final timeout.
Yeah, I agree with that timeout. You're starting to notice the smiles on the El Camino faces and the frowns on the Gregori faces. They're starting to feel it. Down some points here, down 5 points here in Game 4. So,
well, it was 15-15 a moment ago, and now it's 21-16, a 6-1 run for El Camino here late in Game 4, trying to close out the title.
Yeah, they're starting to smell their second in 2 years, and they're going for it. They're like a shark smelling blood. They are after it, and it's going to take some serious play here by the Gregori Jaguars to stop the Eagles from taking home their second championship in a row.
Barkel to serve. Kayla Barkel, one of the few seniors out there on the floor right now. Cassidy Denny being the other. Everybody else, Ariana Williams, a junior, 3 sophomores. Devin Horrenda, Michaela Nichetti, Olivia Garner right now for El Camino. Gregori digging deep defensively. This is Paulson. Pass. Goes to Sordello. Trying to keep it alive. El Camino doesn't 3, but a free opportunity. Here's a pass. Sordello again on the slide. Up in the air, Barkel, but the point goes to Gregori. Good call by Coach Silva going to the slide play when you were trailing 21-16. Now 21-17 and Lamone in to serve.
Yeah, that was a huge point for the Jaguars.
Yeah. They need to get this to about 21-20, though, I think.
Yeah, I agree. They want to go on a little bit of a run here.
Lamone serve, dug by Denny. Horrenda to Williams on a slide for El Camino. And it's 22-17, 3 points away.
That's a way to answer right back right there. You called a nice play for the slide play for the Jaguars, and the Eagles might have heard you say that, and they said, well, if it worked for them, let's see if it works for us. And sure enough, it does. Very nice play.
Well executed by Horrenda and Williams. Williams now to serve. Serve, dug by Labasse. Bump set, near side. Wersch goes up, blocked. Lamone is there defensively. Now back row, Labasse. Over, dug by Horrenda. Mattis back in the game, goes far side. Nichetti with a cut shot. Wersch is there. Back row, Labasse again, feeding their best player. Dig by Denny. Here's Nichetti for the point. 2 away is El Camino.
They're getting close. Unfortunately for Gregori, Polson wasn't able to dig that one out. Man, this one's getting close. It's starting to become a nail biter. Everybody at the edge of their seats.
23-17. Williams, great top spin ace. 7 championship points coming up for El Camino. Williams trying to close it out. Williams serve, playable, Labasse, Van Dyke, near side, Wersch is going to get the point. Gregori still breathing. 6 championship points. Green back in the game. She'll replace Paulson. It's all up to Van Dyke. She's got to maintain it at the service line.
That was a solid play by Wersch to keep her team in this one.
Van Dyke with the serve. It's clean. Denny, Horrenda from Nichetti, and that's the ball game. (25-19), 22-25, 25-23, 25-18. El Camino goes back-to-back in Division II. The Eagles are your 2012 Girls Volleyball Division II champions here in the Sac-Joaquin section.
What a game there.
Wow.
That game 4 was amazing.
Michaela Nichetti puts it away, and El Camino wins the title. Their 3rd in 4 years under head coach Martin Soyama, and back-to-back in Division II. The PlayOnSports.com postgame show coming up in just a few moments. We'll have an interview with our player of the game for the victorious El Camino Eagles. They win it 3-1 over the Gregori Jaguars. We'll be back on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com, in just a few moments.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We're back here on the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. Jeff Kurtz joined by our player of the game from the victorious El Camino Eagles. Back-to-back, Cassidy Denny, the senior, joining us. And back-to-back must sound very, very good to you guys.
Yeah.
How does it feel this year compared to last year?
It's even better this year because at the beginning of the year, no one expected us to get to sections at all, and the fact that we won just makes it even better.
What was the difference? How were you guys able to do that despite everyone, all the experts out there saying El Camino's not going to be back here? What did you guys do to dig through that and actually make it to this game and win?
I think the fact that they said we couldn't do it made us want to actually do it more, and we put all of our heart and soul into this season just to get to this spot and just to beat Gregori, a really competitive and worthy opponent. And the fact that they said at the beginning of the year that we couldn't just made us want to work that much harder.
What does that take? I mean, for the casual fan or the people who just tune in for a championship game, what do you guys have to do? What are the practices like? How many hours have you put in during the course of the high school season, setting aside club play, but during the high school season allows you to pull this off?
It takes a lot of heart. At all of our practices, we practice every day unless we have a game, and it's a lot of focus, a lot of drills, and if we don't succeed in our drills, it's a lot of running, a lot of getting better. At the beginning of the season, we did weights to be stronger, and we really just worked really hard in practice so that come game time, we knew what we needed to do, and we just had to execute it.
Though this seems like a very loose group as well. I saw some of the players were doing Gangnam Style out there in the middle of the game. Coach Soyama's smiling while you guys are, tight ball games. It seems like, does that help as opposed to playing tight? Everyone's pretty loose.
We definitely play better when we're having fun. When we're tight and serious, we just get in our heads. And so we have our libero who never stops laughing, and we just make jokes, and that's how we play it together. We're not one of those teams that's okay, everyone be really serious and execute. It's kind of let's all have fun, and then we'll play better, and we actually want to play together. This is my family, and that. I think that's part of the reason why is because we actually have fun playing together.
Well, you and your family get another game now, a state championship game. You guys get to host again in the state playoffs beginning on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Was that a goal at the beginning of the year as well? Not only to get back here, but we want to host another home game for El Camino.
We had a goal meeting at the very beginning of the year, and our first goal was to win sections and host the first state playoff game.
And so, what do you guys do to celebrate this win before you start preparing for the state playoffs?
Well, tonight we'll have team dinner. We'll eat lots of pizza, and then tomorrow we'll go support our football team and have the weekend off, and then Monday it's back to hard work.
Look at that. They're eating pizza. They're cheering on the football team who had a team dinner tonight, couldn't be here today, and then they're back at it. Cassidy Denny, our PlayOnSports.com player of the game. Congratulations once again. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back wrapping up here on the postgame in just a few moments, folks. Please stay with us.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3.
Jeff Kurtz rejoined by my broadcast partner Jason Patterson as we wrap up the action from Girls Division 2 before we turn our attention on this court to Girls Division 4. We were supposed to start that at 8 o'clock, Jason, but we went 4 games in this one. The other events going long as well. They're playing Game 5 over in Division 3 right now, and so they wait until both games are complete. Then they do the awards ceremony. We're going to have Division 4 next, but what a fantastic match. 3-1 El Camino wins it over Gregori.
Yeah, definitely. Don't let the 3-1 final score fool you. Gregori put up a tough fight. They stayed into it. That game 2 was just it was so good for Gregori. They actually came back to win that one. They were down in game 3 a lot. They came back and almost took game 3 as well too. Gregori looked good, but unfortunately El Camino just looked a little bit better, and they were able to take home their second in a row Division 2 title.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't think El Camino was going to be here. Gregori just in their second year of varsity competition in girls volleyball, but they make it the championship game, and they certainly learned a lot from the experience here today.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing out here for the young team that they had is to get a little bit of experience, get a little bit of championship feel, and I definitely would expect to see them out here again next year.
Yeah, Ron Silva certainly building a great program over at Gregori High School. Meanwhile, Martin Soyama, 3 championships in 4 years. Not bad himself. El Camino wins it back-to-back. Both teams make the state playoffs. Gregori will be on the road. El Camino will be at home. We're going to get set for the Division IV championship coming up in about 25 minutes or so, folks. Hope you'll join us for that one as we continue our coverage of the girls volleyball championships in the Sac-Joaquin section right here on the beautiful campus at the University of California, Davis. You're following the action on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Back with Division IV in about a half an hour.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.